Welcome to episode 6 of the Us and Oceans Live News podcast. Us and Oceans Live News, the podcast. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode. My name is Christian Chappell and this is Us and Oceans Live News, the marine conservation news page on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter. Today I'd like to talk about what's been on the news today, what I've been mentioned as well as, which is basically about reducing meat, whereas BBC's put on this morning on the news where it's reduce meat to save the planet. I would rather people not eat meat at all. And it's a reading for the article today. The diet is to save lives, the planet and feed us all. A diet has been developed that promises to save lives, feed 10 billion people and all without causing catastrophic damage to the planet. Scientists have been trying to figure out how we are going to feed billions more people in the decades to come. The answer, the planetary health diet, does not completely banish meat and dairy, but it requires an enormous shift in what we pile onto our plates and turn in foods that we barely eat. What changes am I going to have to make? That's the question to make. If you eat meat every day, then there's this first biggie. For red meat, you're looking at a burger a week or a large steak a month, and that's your lot. That's pretty, for all those people actually eat meat out there, I reckon that sounds pretty tough for you guys. It's a big leap from going from what you're eating currently to literally like a steak a month. But don't forget that's what it required. But the growing population is what's required to reverse the disastrous effects that animal farming has on our planet. It says here you can still have a couple of portions of fish and the same of chicken a week, but plants are where the rest of your protein will need to come from. The researchers are recommending nuts and good helping of legumes, that is the beans, chickpeas, lentils, every day instead. There's also a major push on all fruit and veg, which should make up half of every plate of food we eat. Although there's a cull on starchy vegetables such as a humble potato or cassava, which is widely eaten in Africa. So what is the diet in detail? If you served it all up, this is what you're allowed each day. Nuts 50 grams a day. Beans, chickpeas, lentils or other legumes 75 grams a day. Fish 28 grams a day. Eggs 13 grams a day, so 1 and a bit a week. Meat 14 grams a day of red meat and 29 grams a day of chicken. Carbs, whole grains like bread, rice 232 grams a day and 50 grams a day of starchy vegetables. Dairy 250 grams, the equivalent of 1 glass of milk. Vegetables 300 grams and fruit 200 grams. The diet has room for 31 grams of sugar and about 50 grams worth of oils like olive oil. Will it taste awful? Professor Walter Willett, one of the researchers who is based at Harvard, said no, and that after a childhood on a farm eating 3 portions of red meat a day, he was now pretty much in line with the planetary health diet. He said, there's tremendous variety there. You can take those foods and put them together in 1,000 different ways. We're not talking about a deprivation diet here, it's healthy eating that is flexible and enjoyable. Is this for real life or is this just fantasy? This plan requires changes to diets in pretty much every corner of the world. Europe and North America need to cut back massively on red meat, East Asia needs to cut back on fish, Africa on starchy vegetables. Humanity has never attempted to change the food system at this scale and this speed, says Lynn Gordon, an assistant professor at the Stockholm Resilience Centre. Whether it's a fantasy or not, the fantasy doesn't have to be bad. It's time to dream of a good world, she says. Taxes on red meat are one of the many options the researchers say may be necessary to pursue us to switch diets. Well, who came up with this? A group of 37 scientists from around the world were brought together as part of an Eat Lancet Commission. They're a mix of experts from farming to climate change and nutrition, and they took 2 years to come up with their findings, which have been published in The Lancet. Why do we need a diet for 10 billion people? The world population reached 7 billion in 2011. It's now around 7.7 billion. That figure is expected to reach 10 billion around 2050 and will keep on climbing. Will it save lives? The researchers say the diet will prevent around 11 million people dying each year. That number is largely down to cutting diseases related to unhealthy diets such as heart attacks, strokes and some cancers. These are now the biggest killers in the developed countries. How bad is farming for the planet? The use of land for growing food and forestry accounts for around a quarter of global greenhouse gas emissions, about the same as for electricity and heating, substantially more than from all the trains, planes and automobiles on the planet. When you look more closely at the food sector's environmental impact, you can see that the meat and dairy are the major factors. Worldwide, livestock accounts for between 14.5 and 8% of human-induced greenhouse gas emissions. When it comes to other warming gases, agriculture is one of the leading contributors to both methane and nitrous oxide emissions. Agriculture is also a significant source of air pollution, with ammonia from farms a major cause of fine particulate matter. That's a particulate matter, do apologize for that one, which the WHO says is a threat to health worldwide. Similar when it comes to water, agriculture and food productions are one of the biggest threats, consuming 70% of global freshwater sources for irrigation. So you can go on BBC UK and they actually tell you how your diet, the current diet you have now, what you eat. You can put down what you eat, which food you would like, and how often you have it, and you can find out what sort of impact it has actually on the environment. And then it gives you, so will the Planet Health diet save the planet? The researchers' aim was to feed more people while minimising greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change, preventing any species going extinct, have no expansion of farmland and preserve water. However, just changing diets is nowhere near enough. In order to make the numbers add up, it also requires having enough food waste and to increase the amount of food produced on current farmland. Why is meat being banned? If we were just minimising greenhouse gases, we'd say everyone be vegan, said Professor Willett. However, he said it was unclear whether a vegan diet was the healthiest option. So what happens now? The Eat Lancet Commission is going to take the findings to governments around the world and bodies such as the World Health Organization to see if they can begin to change the way we eat. Well, what it says here, I've just got something to say about that again. Why is it being banned? It's going to be a far-fetched thing to ban it straight away. It says, well, however, it said it was unclear whether a vegan diet was the healthiest option. I can guarantee you it is the healthiest option. The only thing you need to worry about is vitamin B12. You know, this is the only supplement you really need. All the other nutrients, you can eat the different foods, legumes, fruits, vegetables, and you get most of them. But the B12 is the one that you need. It's the one that lives in the soil. You know, this is why when they say you can only get B12 from meat, is because the cow was eating the grass on the floor, which is straight out the soil, which is obviously consuming this B12, which is a bacterium created vitamin, and it ingests it, and it gets absorbed into its body, and we eat it, and that's how we get our B12. Just say you can get like carrots. I don't know, there was a podcast on a Ritual podcast where there was a person on there, and he said you can get your B12, but just not washing your fruit and your vegetables so much. More your vegetables, your ground vegetables, your root vegetables, carrots, potatoes. Don't wash them totally, wash a little bit. I know there's a fear behind it, you can get worms and all that, but this is the way it's believed that you can get your B12 by not washing your vegetables absolutely clean when pulled out the ground. So that's that issue with the BBC. So it's amazing how long it took. Since the 80s they've been saying that meat is bad for the planet and your health, and it only just now is it coming to light that maybe they're going to start listening this time. Well, who knows? Maybe they're just going to ignore it. But you can go to the BBC website, look it up, just type in BBC reducing meat. That's how I found this one, and it'll come up. Excuse me. You can scrolls down and come to like how my food choices impact on the environment. You can select it there, and you can find out, see what impact is it got. So I've got to that issue there. Many other things I've been on for a long time. This is like been almost a week now without a podcast. I've had another one here, which is I found on the Marine Conservation news page, is that perfect storm of threats is destroying marine life. New report warns. This is from Sky News. Excuse me. The oceans are facing a perfect storm of threats that will destroy marine life unless the government takes urgent action, a new report has warned. Plastic pollution, climate change and overfishing are combining to put sea creatures under intolerable stress, according to MPs on the Environmental Audit Committee. The report, Sustainable Seas, says the UK government treats the oceans as out of sight, out of mind, and must lead an international effort to stop the catastrophic impact of human activity. Committee Chair Mary Craig MP told Sky News, "We only have one ocean and our children deserve to experience it in all its wonders and to be able to see the coral reefs going into the future." But the ocean is under threat as never before from climate change, which is warming it, acidifying it and deoxygenating it. It is under threat from overfishing and is under threat from pollution. We're pouring sewage and chemicals and plastic into our ocean. We've got to stop treating it like a sewer. Sky was asked to give evidence to the committee because of its ocean rescue campaign that has focused plastic and marine protection. In its report, the committee urges the government to be more ambitious in tackling the scourge of plastic. It wants a deposit scheme of plastic bottles to start earlier than the current plan of 2023, and it renewed all its latte levy on disposable coffee cups, and measure the government has so far rejected. Shame on you, government. Will McCallum, head of Oceans Greenpeace UK, said reducing how much plastic we use in the first place will be vital, as well as banning problem plastics and introducing the plastic bottle return scheme as soon as possible. The Oceans is a life support system. The committee has produced truly groundbreaking recommendations for sustainable seas, and we urge the government to act without delay. The committee says the government is failing to protect marine life in UK waters, although it claims to have set aside 20% of our seas as conservation zones, the most damaging form of fishing. Trawling the sea bottom with spikes and chains is banned in just 2%. Jean-Luc Solland, a scientist at the Marine Conservation Society, said the seabed is an important nursery for marine species. Herring spawn in seabed and their eggs are destroyed, he said. We need to stop this activity. Some reefs are being turned into mud and sand. The Department of Environment said the UK is a global leader in protecting the oceans, seas. Also, Sky teams up with the government trying to innovate. UK is offering £2 million in matched grants to companies that receive investment in Sky Ocean Ventures. Sorry. A spokesman said, "We have recently proposed 41 new marine conservation zones, led calls to protect 30% of the world's oceans by 2030, and we're going further and faster to tackle the plastic that harms marine life with our ambitious resources and waste strategy. We know there's more to do, and we will soon publish an international international ocean strategy to drive global action to conserve the world's ocean. Sky Ocean Rescue Campaign encourages people to reduce their single-use plastic. You can find out more about the campaign and how to get involved at www.skyoceanrescue.com. So you can find out if you want to join into that. Have a look at that. There's some interesting stuff on there. On my page, Us and Oceans Live News on Facebook, I've shared a recent couple of posts from other pages that I've had, and again from Until They're All Free page on Facebook, the Red Cove again, which was on Tuesday. Family of stripped dolphins were brutally slaughtered at the Death Cove in bloody Japan again, which is I've shared that one. And there's a guy that made an art picture, and it says more than 5 trillion pieces of plastic are already floating in our oceans. About 8 million metric tons of plastic are thrown into the ocean annually. That's quite a bit of food for thought, which is a meme on there. And one again from Fishfield. Fishfield, thank you for doing what you're doing. The plastic oceans are warming a lot quicker than estimated, highlighted the perils of unchecked climate change according to a new study. This has been put in the Time magazine online. It says that the oceans are warming faster than originally thought. The town name in Kent in UK, first plastic-free community, which is a bonus for our own guys. It's actually reached 105 people on my page, which is I'm quite chuffed about. And there's actually the son of a British farmer shocks the vegan world via Emmy King, which was shared by Emmy King, and he put it on there. It's a farmer's poem, and I don't know if you ever hear it. I can put it on here, guys. If you want to listen to it, I'll put it onto the computer. You can listen to it. If you let me know what you think of the poem. It's pretty decent. I'll cut on silent for a minute, so I'll let you listen to the poem, guys.
We're living in a nation where there's growing condemnation of what is done to those who cannot talk. I was blind to all their pain, so I couldn't feel the shame in that broken piece of body on my fork. Then I wondered, could any child breed a bird that can't be wild? To eat its wings, take off its legs and its head? No. So we pay for hidden slaughter till we've addicted sons and daughters to our habit of eating the dead. And it's not so very long since who could see the wrong in breeding humans as slaves without pay? It can be a woman without a vote, or killing a leopard for its coat. Did we ever see the evil of the day? So do you think you're any better? Now the animals we fetter outnumber every human 10 to 1, and many children hardly eat because their food has fed your meat, while the blame for this shame you pass on. So give me avocados, and I'll eat tofu burgers. You can even give me black bean curd, but please don't give me bread if it's wrapping the dead, the remains of the body of a bird. For every piece of flesh you buy, you're paying to breed the next to die. By compassion, no longer are we led. And for the cow, it's worse, I fear. They rod rape her every year, take every calf, take all her milk, until she's dead. This choice you say is your right, that you can eat just as you like, and it's merely an opinion that I voice. But your choice, it kills so many. This opinion kills not any. And your victims, you give them any choice. So there's more to avocados and eating tofu burgers than minimizing sickness and your girth. No less than Einstein did resolve, from eating flesh we must evolve, or mankind, he said, may not survive on earth. The age in which we're living, there's ever more misgiving over what is done to those who cannot talk. Are you blind to all their pain? Can you not feel the shame in that broken piece of body on your fork? Will it?
So there you are, guys. That was something I shared recently. I was quite touching. Hits the truth, hits the nerve, definitely. You can actually hear this. He said this in his own farmer's field. This farmer does actually seem to believe in quitting the meat, and he tried to. He did this poem on there, and I just showed you that poem because he did in his farmer's field. You can hear the trucks in the background and stuff. It's quite noisy there, but yeah, great poem. Really enjoyed that one. I've not shared much other stuff recently, so it's basically what I had there, and yeah, so I've got my son coming in now, so he's being nosy. He's not supposed to be in here. I do apologise. It is a real thing in here. So he's going out now. So leave me in peace. Podcast needs to be sacred and silent. So yeah, I haven't done much recently. I've been off, obviously been off work for a couple of days, holiday, so I've been relaxing. I've actually been, excuse me, writing. Something I said I would never do is actually write a rap song, and I wrote a rap song. I'll see if I can get it onto my pages, so see if I can get it up there. Basically, it's just about what I always talk about: plastic pollution, overfishing, meat eating, and all that. All that I always talk about, I made a rap out of it. I've already I used like a different, like a music platform to make the music backward fit. I'll be working on that in due time. And that's all I got to say, guys. So before I leave you, I'd like to promote a very special place where I eat a lot at times, given the time permitted and the financial bonus or anything I've got leftovers in financial capability. I'd like to promote the Zoo Cafe on Newland Ave in Hull. So if you ever get yourself into Hull, or if you ever visit Hull, anything like that, go and get a cab from the train station or wherever you are in Hull town centre. Get a cab bus and get yourself to Newland Ave, and it's called the Zoo Cafe. It's between Heron Foods, which is a shop, and I believe it's a real estate, like an estate agent, I believe, or cash converters. I'm not quite sure. And it's like a little alleyway going down. There's a garage on the bottom at the end, and this little house is on the left hand side, just before the garage, but between these two places. And yeah, it's a great cafe. They do vegetarian options as well. So if you're a vegan and you would like to go and visit the place with your vegetarian other half, they got vegetarian options as well. As I don't always agree in that the places, but there's not many places in Hull that do 100% vegan, apart from Blondie's in Cottingham, which is a bit further away from where we live. But this place is absolutely fantastic. They do full English breakfast. They got avocado. They got these sage and onion patties, or what do you call them? They got I think it's the easy egg version of the egg. They do that on there, which is absolutely fantastic. It tastes absolutely brilliant. They do homemade. I believe it's homemade beans, with variety of types of beans, mushroom, tomato. Basically, there's all those other things on there is vegan, which is absolutely fantastic. I get the vegetarian option to make egg. Well, I can guarantee it, everything is segregated. Nothing is cooked together with vegetarian. The pots and pans are segregated from the vegetarian side of it. And the atmosphere is absolutely fantastic. They do these great teas in there. They have like green tea, varieties of health teas, and a coffee and that. And I like the way the owner has the different types of coloured pots. Orange pots for black tea, and obviously the green pots for the green tea. I love that. They got these great sugar cubes, and it's absolutely fantastic in there. Such a good atmosphere. They got downstairs where you can sit, upstairs you can sit. They got chairs and sofas where you can relax and have talks, meetings, or anything like that. It's absolutely great up there. So it's Zoo Cafe in Hull on Newland Ave. If you ever get there, get yourself there. You'll love it. I guarantee it. The prices aren't bad either. It's something like how much was it for the full English breakfast, which is like an eight item breakfast that I had, which was £6.59 or something like that. But it's definitely worth it. And it's filling. To get a really good, decent sized portions food there if you're going to get yourself down there. So yeah, guys, that's all I have to say today. So I hope you enjoy my podcast. Again, I'd like to promote my own podcast all the time. I'd like to promote Us and Oceans Live News. Please help let the world know, guys, about issues, marine conservation issues. Promote veganism, 100% plant-based diet, as I would like to call it. Promote that, guys. Getting stuck in with all this help the ocean stuff, and just do the best what you can do, guys. Share my podcast if you can. I really appreciate if you would. get some traction going for my podcast. And I'm not asking for any sort of monetary, or no, on my website the podcast is free to download, totally free. I just want to get some traction, knowing that I'm doing something good by, I've got nothing. I'm just a simple truck driver with a loving family of four. You know what I mean? Two boys and a wife. I ain't got nothing to financially to gain by anything. I'm doing this totally off my own back because I love caring for the ocean ever since I found out what the hellish things that are going on with it. So yeah, guys, get sharing, like my page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe there if you want. Comment, please. Let me know what you think. Comment. I'd love to talk about issues like that. Anything you want to get in touch with me, you can do so on my website, which is Us and Oceans Live New without the S .wixsite slash website, or wixsite.com/website. That's the one. On Twitter, us bottom dash, also it's a bottom dash oceans. Instagram, my normal name on Instagram, Us and Oceans Live News there on Instagram. Facebook, Us and Oceans Live News. So yeah, guys, my name's Christian Chappell. You can find me also on Facebook. So you can go to my site via that way, and I will talk to you guys very much sooner than before, because I'm back at work and going home late nights. The kids will be tired, and I'll be able to do some more podcasts. So yeah, I will keep an ear out for the rap that I'm going to try and put together. I hope it's going to work. Like I said, I'm all new to this, but I love my music too. I always write new stuff, mainly instrumental stuff on all sorts of platforms like Music Maker, Jam. I love doing my stuff on there. So yeah, guys, I will see you later. So have a good day to you, and don't forget, for the oceans always, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.